Okay, let's talk about real estate for a minute. Now, I know y'all watch YouTube videos on real estate. Here's what I'm about to tell you that's free. Doesn't cost you anything. No books to buy. Don't have to download anything. Don't have to come to my workshop. Here's the thing about real estate. Any house that is a single family home, a multi-family home, a duplex, or whatsoever. Now, let's take a home, a single family home. Now, let's say this guy is old, doesn't know how to get on the internet. Would he put a sign outside his home or his house saying for sale by owner? Well, the chances of that are very rare. And it would have to be someone so old that they didn't know how to work the internet or even get on the internet or was not internet savvy. But I'm thinking to myself, if this man is so old, wouldn't his children do that for him? I mean, wouldn't his children go online, put his home, say, Grandpa, I got it. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to get you the best deal possible. So even if this home is on the market where a lot of people like the Footman or whoever say, do not go. But this home's for sale by owner, which means it's owner finance. Now, a lot of the homes I looked at are owner finance, which means the sale by the owner. The owner doesn't know the internet or doesn't know how to get on the internet, but knows that his children have tech savvy. There is no chance that a woman or a man is going to be too old to not to have children who are not internet savvy, who cannot get on the internet. Okay, let's say they list this house at 1220 Jones Street. They want to let this house go for a net profit of $150,000. Who's got that in their pocket? Not very many people. Nobody's got $150,000, nor does anyone can come up with $150,000. But they have listed their number. Okay? So, that you looked on Zillow and around the houses, all the other houses in the same area, all the other single family homes, or maybe the multi-family homes, or maybe the duplexes, whatever is in that area, all sell for $35,000. You're thinking to yourself, you saw on Zillow that it's been on there for like 2 or 3 months, right? Okay, so you see this house has been on there 2 or 3 months, isn't selling. So you contact the guy. He answers the phone, an actual guy, not some pretend person or a person that I pay to answer the phone to say, oh yeah, come on down. Let's get you a deal. Now, this person's going to answer the phone like any normal person. Hello. So what you need to do is at that time, tell them what you want to do. Tell them who you are. Tell them that you buy and sell houses. Well, they're ecstatic to hear that you buy and sell houses because they want to sell their house. So they're going to ask you, okay, well, we want $150,000. You say, sir, I'm a wholesaler. I'm a wholesale investor. So after you say you're a wholesale investor, and they say, okay, what does that do? And you explain to them that you're going to sell their home. You're going to take a part of their home, and you're going to tell them that you got to bring it down to $55,000. You can offer them $55,000. Well, I really want to get rid of the house. All right, $55,000, probably a lot more than what I got right now. They may be retiring. They may be even on their deathbed. So $55,000 for 5 fucking minutes or seconds of their time, or maybe a year. I can't cuss on YouTube. I gotta bleep that out. 5 minutes of their time, 5 minutes that they can enjoy, $55,000. They may say, okay, We'll take $55,000 because every other house is on that block is for $55,000. Well, let's say the house next door to theirs, unfortunately, does sell for $150,000. Okay, so now you got yourself a good deal. Congratulations. You won the deal. So you're looking around for someone to buy the house for $55,000, but oh no, come to find out in these $12,000 worth of work. So now you're up to $62,000. The sale of the house is at $140,000 because the next door house says that will sell for $149,000. But the house that they're selling doesn't look like any of the other houses, nor does it look like the one next door. Because the house next door is a brand spanking new house. Their house is underage. It's like 1959, let's say 1949. Let's say they bought it back in 1919. Okay, so the house needs $10 to $15,000 worth of work. You just added $65,000. So the house next door is a beautiful 2-story building. It's a multi-family home. Has nothing to do with this single-family home. This don't make sense to me. How can you sell the same house that's at a single-family home to a person or a buyer that sees a second-family home as a 2-story building with a multi-story? That's two different apples. This is not an apple over here. This is not the same apple. So even if it was the same apple, but the house next door is already modernized. It was built 1979. It looks like a brand new house. So my question is if that house that you want to try to get a buyer whenever they're available and whenever they can get to you and whenever they can come down and take a look at the house to make their own estimate as to how much the repairs need to be cost or need to be. So the question still remains, if it's still a single family home, and this is a single family home, and one of them sells for $149,000, but none of the other houses sell for $149,000. Let's say that down the street, like 2 miles down the street, there's a house that sells for $149,000. You can't sell the house that you have for $149,000 compared to the one down the street. That doesn't make sense. It would have to be like right across the street or maybe next door to that one or the next one to that one. Maybe. But it would have to be the house next door to theirs and then the house next to theirs that would actually say, okay, this house that is in the middle of this rural area, they're willing to accept $55,000. Who wouldn't want that? Well, they can make $149,000 for the same freaking house. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to the internet gurus. But obviously, okay, somebody's talked them down, right? A wholesale investor, what we call it. It's talked them down to $55,000 because, well, they're going to die or they just want the money, to try to give to their kids for college or help their kids through college or maybe just put in a freaking bank. They're old. What are they going to do with $55,000? Except give it to their children or their kids who are going through college. Excuse me. So, there is no possible way that a buyer is going to come down there if the deal that is not across the street, not side by side each other, for less than that. Then that's not going to do it. You can't expect. I've seen YouTube videos of people they selling these flip and fix. Yeah, because they bought them. They bought that house. They bought that house for $35,000. They went in, or they went and they got some people underpriced, by the way, that they could pay less than $10,000 to fix that house. They get the house fixed, and then on the market, they know that house, same house, let's say you talk about the same house as any other house out there today, let's say that they know that that house, after fix up and everything, will be $149,000. Okay, so they went out and they bought a house with the money they had. Okay, this is not with somebody else's money. This is not with some other Joe Blow's money, because they ain't gonna want the house. Okay, this is a house that the realtor bought, or an investor bought, a wholesale investor bought it, and they wanted to fix it up and resell it for $149,000, because they know in that area a house, a single family home, is worth $149,000. So let's say, for example, that they spent $60,000 and they get $149,000. Well, that's a considerable amount of profit. Of course, who would not want to do that? But who in the world has $55,000? Who in the world has $60,000? Who in the world is in this business has that type of money? Not very many people, okay? So you're looking at that house, you're like, damn, there's no way I can, buy it. Excuse me, buy it and then fix it up. How am I going to do that? Well, they probably have hard money lenders, okay? So they did not use their own money. They used a hard money lender. Okay, so let's talk about hard money lending and hard money loans, okay? Let's say that you go down to, I don't know, some Joe Blow and say, hey, I need $60,000 for this house. Well, they're going to do the exact same thing they do to anybody. They're going to run your credit check. They're going to make sure you have a job. They're going to make sure that you can pay the loan back. That is at a percentage of that loan. And they say, okay, now you've been approved for all this, right? All that loan for $60,000. You go down and you buy the house. Now, let's say the raising of the market goes up. And now it's starting to hit down as you're taking out your loan, because that's the way it does in this life, is that real estate goes up and then back down. So let's say that the home that you're going to fix and flip that was at $60,000, and you're saying, okay, I know I could get a percentage amount of money, because I know that once I'm done with that thing. Damn, this came fast.